jolly good.
Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Clark Zoka. Welcome to another My Thoughts On, and today I'm going to be talking about a film called Wolfwalkers. This is the latest animated film from a Irish animation studio called Cartoon Saloon, who you may know for Secret of Kells, Song of the Sea, and they did Breadwinner as well. Anyway, so weird story actually. I was gonna watch the film anyways, but then I saw it was actually coming to cinemas, and I instantly had to look at where it's going to be played, and it was actually playing at my local cinema, the Light, and so instantly I had to book a ticket and two for a friend of mine. So we went to go and see it today, and despite the fact that it's still, restrictions and all that. There wasn't actually that many people. In fact, there was only like 4 people: me, my friend, and 2 other people. It was surprisingly weird, but so good to be in a cinema where there is no children, no chavs, no one on their phones. It was quite. Oh god, it was so good. And I was going to talk about. I was going to do my thoughts on the other 3 films, but I'll do it when it comes to Apple TV. And by the way, no, this film will not be out for very long. I think it's only out for a limited time, which is a shame, really, because there isn't that many for kids to watch. There's one called Over the Moon, which I will talk about soon. There's 2x2 2, which is the sequel to that 2015 film, which I really didn't like. It's the same people who did Lewis and the Aliens. Then I saw a trailer for Connected, the Sony film. Despite the fact that it should have been out by October time, apparently it's still coming out. I don't know when. It's weird. Anyways, back on to Wolfwalkers. I loved all 3 of their films. Even though Secret of Kells and Breadwinner was not perfect, Song of the Sea, loved. Absolutely loved. One of my favourite films from the last decade. So, how does Wolfwalkers hold up? Well, is it actually better? Let's find out. So the film is about this girl named Robin and her father, Bill Goodfellow, who's voiced by Sean Bean. Sean Bean. And that's the best Sean Bean impression I've done. Sorry. So they live in this Irish town because they're both from England, and Bill is actually a wolf hunter, and her daughter Robin wants to join her, but unfortunately, in typical kids' film fashion, the parent wants the child to stay in their new home so they can be safe. However, Robin's not afraid of wolves. She wants to help him. However, he thinks it's best for her to be safe. So she sneaks out with her hawk named Melvin, and they come across this girl whose name is, I think, Moll, Moll. She is a wolf walker, which is a person who can transform into a wolf when they go to sleep and a human when they're awake. And so she has to help them from getting killed, because the mayor of the town that Robin and Bill live in is going to take out all the wolves because they consider them a threat. However, they have the one character who's seen the person transform into a wolf and a human, and now they're questioning him. And however, Robin now discovers that there is something much more deeper, and actually something that isn't quite as threatening as you would imagine. First off, I love the idea that there is a world where people can turn into wolves when they go to sleep, although they have to be bitten. Anyways, I love the idea, and if you do not know, Cartoon Saloon's animated films have some Irish myth to it, like myths. So with Song of the Sea, it's silky seals, and I think with Secret of Kells, it's I forgot what the myths were, but I'm pretty sure that's based on a myth. Breadwinner, not particularly, because it's not an Irish film. It's made by the same company, but it's actually like set in this like Iraqi and Afghanistan area where a girl has to pretend to be a boy to get some food and all that. So this is like, I guess, based on Irish wolves. I don't know much about the Irish myths. I keep saying mists, but it's myths. I don't know that much about them, really. I don't know if it's true or not, or it's some fairy tale. I do not know, but I love the idea of it, and much to my surprise, this film, in terms of plot, is really fucking good. Um, this is a very predictable film, but it's predictable to the point where you want to see how it ends. And execution's key, and this film did it, and just... I couldn't believe what I was seeing. This film was actually fucking mature for once. A 2D animated film from Ireland, it's actually mature. It's very rare to see an animated film be quite a... well, I wouldn't quite say adult. I say, well, I mean, kids can watch the film fine, but I say this is more for, like, animation fans, and even, like, fans of the studio, or even 2D animation as well. And by the way, I was legit grinning throughout the film, because not only did I love it, but I never actually... I don't think I've seen a 2D animated film in cinemas, which was so refreshing and so cool to watch. So this film is actually very mature. It actually handles the story, the characters, in a very real and very lively way. The film does have comedy, but some of the comedy is very like charming and very heartfelt. There is a little bit of slapstick, but it's not overdone. It's actually done to the point where it's actually quite funny, and the animation does make it look like it just feels like it belongs in its own world, but it's also not obnoxious. It's really charming and just lovely. It really creates this sense of atmosphere, and it feels like you're breathing, and you feel like you're with these characters. And the film is surprisingly really dramatic. No joke, I fucking cried like 4 or 5 times. I know what you're thinking. What? You're crying at a kids' film? First off, this film is not for kids. I'd say it's more for family, like for the entire family. And second, this film does handle dramatic moments really well, and the humour does not overshadow it. And the thing is, although Pixar does handle its dramatic moments well, like Toy Story 4 onward, I think did it pretty good for the most part, but this film was like, you get really sucked into the drama. And yes, there will be a scene where the character will say like, "Why would you do this? You're lying to me. I hate you." And the other one's like, "No, no, no. I'm trying to protect you." And that. And usually I can't stand that, but here it's like it's very understandable from 2 points of view. One wants to find this character, and the other one's protecting this character from getting killed. And they're not idiots. The characters in this film, except for maybe the main villain, who's... I'll get to that in a bit, but the characters are not idiots. They just make mistakes. Some of them don't know what's what, and the others are learning about the new environment, like Robin learning about how to be a wolf and what it's like to be a wolf, and discovering the secret society, and more just kind of learning from what Robin knows as well. So, and when it happens, when the characters actually talk to each other, it doesn't feel like they're moving in a very wacky way or shouting catchphrases or doing selfies. No, these characters are just... they're talking, they're having conversations, and you can tell that Robin and Bill have a good relationship. Okay, this is not a spoiler, but he's not the villain. If you think the father is the villain, then it's not. It's How to Train Your Dragon with Stoic. He's just a father trying to protect his child, and even though he does dismay what his daughter says, because she does try to convince him that Wolfwalkers are real, and he's like, "No, they're not real. Alright, Robin?" And again, shit Sean Bean impression, I'm so sorry. But he's just trying to protect his child, and oh my god, I was legit... tearing up throughout this film because I was like, oh my god, I really want to see how this ends, and it's really sad, and you want Bill to believe what Robin said. And when it comes to the third act, that's when I thought the film just went from a fantastic, unique film to a legit fucking awesome film. It gets epic, dramatic, there are twists in the film, and if you've seen the trailer, you can kind of guess what's going to happen, really. But when it does, it pays off really well. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was like, this is so much different to lots of other animated films I've seen. It's unbelievable. And the scene where, and this is not really a spoiler, Robin turns into a wolf, and the scene where we see her running, like trying to see what it's like to be a wolf with Mole. You've probably seen the scene on YouTube. There's like a clip of it with the song "Running with Wolves" by Oriora or Orior from Frozen 2. There's a scene where she's literally just running with her as a wolf, and that's my favourite scene. Anytime she was a wolf, it was wonderful. It felt like a fantasy, epic, mysterious film at times. However, despite all that praise, there is only one fault I have with the film. It's actually nothing to do with the film itself. And this is something I hate. Well, that's debatable, but still. I actually really needed the loo, like the toilet. And this was actually like during towards the third act, I think. At one point, I was like legit bursting for a wee. But on one hand, I was like, I can't, because this film it was dragging me in. I was invested in what was going on, but I was like, fuck it, I had to go. So I ran out of the cinema, and then I had to go for a wait, and I ran back in. I don't think I've missed much, but it's coming to Apple TV anyway. So I mean, obviously, I'm going to watch it again. So besides that little fuck up, and I have been to the toilet a few times today. Don't know why, but besides that, the storytelling, even the theme of friendship and family is strong as well, and the comedy, the heart, the dark elements, the emotion, everything feels like it's genuine. It all fits together. It creates one epic story that creates this really big, really environmental. Well, not sorry. I mean, atmospheric film. There was not one moment where I groaned, got bored, or cringed. This film felt genuine, mature, unique, and just. This is perfect storytelling. Even if you know what's going to happen, you want to see how it happens. Say what you want about the other films, but this is storytelling at its finest. And you don't need pop culture references or dance humour like Dancer to Gundam style. All you need is heart, care, a good story with good heart, emotion, comedy, a theme, a uniqueness, a creative concept. That's just what you need to make a good film, a good story in that way. But this film just achieved something that I didn't think it would do, is to actually be a fucking movie. Animation. Oh my god, I missed you, 2D animation. Oh, it's so good to see you again. And I don't think I've seen a 2D animated film in cinemas. I think I have, but it felt so fucking good, especially from this studio. The animation is fucking fantastic. And, I mean, that's to be expected because it's 2D, but this is almost as groundbreaking as, like, Disney. This is like, oh, where do I start? It's making me really excited. First off, the character animation design is faithful to how they should look from the concept trailer, and you can kind of tell they do have a bit of that Song of the Sea and Secret of Kells look as well. But they're very well designed. They have a mix between cartooniness and very gentle design too. Like I love the wolves design, especially Robin and Mole's. Goodfellow's design is great. All the characters they do look quite cartoony, but what makes this film and their other films work is that they feel like real people. They may be cartoony, but they're gentle and they don't look too bouncy or too goofy. Like they look like they stand out from the rest. The backgrounds are unbelievably gorgeous. The scenes where Robin and Mole are seen when they use when Robin uses her vision as a wolf, the animation is actually hand drawn. I can tell some of it was hand drawn. And when you see some of the characters, especially like the wolves and Robin, you can see like the outlines. Like when animators have to draw a character from paper to computer, they draw like a circle and like two lines, one across, one up, one across, and you got one coming down. So it's like a big plus. In here, you can kind of see a little bit of that in here. There's good shading. The expressions are genuine. The film actually it does play around with its animation a lot, and it does it in a way where it's good visual storytelling. Actually, there are scenes where a character or a wolf will get shot, and then the scenery will go smaller, and then it'll get dark, like there'll be like a red background, and then there'll be black around the outsides of the screen. Fucking hell, this was like a visual treat in my opinion. And the third act is when the film visually gets even more fantastic. What can I say? The animation not only surpasses of being a lovely looking film, but it's actually a film that I can comfortably say that it's actually, you could say it's revolutionary really, because it's unlike anything I've ever seen. Characters and acting. All of the characters in this film I absolutely loved. Granted, there might be one that I didn't think was strong, but the rest were unbelievably amazing. Robin, despite being a child, she's actually a really well-defined and really lovable main character. Yeah, she's a girl and she does have the typical personality of being like a girl that's mischievous, full of wonder, and she wants to be like her father, but she's actually she's funny, she's cute, and when she gets dramatic, she's really good at that as well. She's a really strong main character, and I was rooting for her throughout the entire film, and she was wonderful. Like, absolutely wonderful. She's a really well-written character. She's just simply a child, and yeah, granted, she does make a few mistakes, but it's not to the point that she's an idiot. She's just a child, and she's trying to do something that's right and something that's worth saving, which in this case is Mo, or was it? And speaking of which, isn't it Mev? I'm going to pronounce her name incorrectly. So this is the Wolfwalker that Robin befriends, and she's like Robin, but she's full of life, energy. She's cheeky, but she's also funny and charming, and when she gets emotional, it's actually genuine, and it doesn't feel forced at all. And their friendship is lovely. It's absolutely wonderful. It doesn't feel fake. It feels like they actually known each other for a long time. It's very genuine. Bill, who is Robin's father, he's actually probably one of my favourite character dads. He's not a villain, he's not evil, he's just protecting his daughter from wolves, and his chemistry with Robin is just really touching and really lovely. Yes, he can argue with her sometimes, but it's because he wants her to be safe. She wants her to stay in the village. He wants her to stay in the village, and when she leaves, he does get a little bit stern, but he's like, he still cares for her. When you find out what happens to the mum, which is cliche, but it's like, oh, there were a few times I went, oh, that's really lovely. And then you got the Lord Protector, and yes, that is his name. He doesn't even have any other alternative names. It's just Lord Protector. He's the main villain who just wants to get rid of wolves. On one hand, yeah, he's just a generic villain, but at the same time, when you find out more about him and the wolves, it's like, oh my god, it's like really shocking. It's like he is a villain, but he's trying to protect his town. Although I would argue that he's actually trying to do more than just protect it. He's trying to do more as well, but it's like he's just doing his job. Although, actually, what happens to him is like actually something that I never ever seen before, and I won't give anything away. But what happens to him? I mean, obviously, this film is not family friendly. A character will die, and when the character dies, it's not like he's on the edge. He's on the edge of a cliff, okay, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you." But then when he realizes, this is a he's in a religious town, and he's religious himself, and he's like, "God, my God, I may be with you," and he just falls. The character just falls to his death, and it's not like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you." It's like he's accepting his fate, and it's like I rarely see a villain, especially in animated films, where they accept their deaths instead of trying to avoid it, which is very rare. The other characters in the film, there's not that many. There's Melvin, Robin's hawk, who's a very cute sporting character. The wolves, who are with Meph and Robin, they're quite cute and quite fun. Her mother is actually quite likable, even though she's not in the film for long. But what happens with her is very sweet and heartbreaking at times. And then I forgot this character's name, but he's the one who convinces the town that Wolfwalkers exists, and he's like the one character. He's like the character who tells everyone that this is real, and people just ignore him and either laugh at him or try to put him in prison. But he's understandable. All these characters have personality. Some of them are just kind of minor, but the main characters is Robin, Molf. I can't pronounce her name. The Wolfwalker girl. I'm gonna call her the Wolfwalker girl because I can't pronounce her actual name. Bill, her mother, the wolves. Those are the most important characters. You could say Lord Protector, but he's just the typical villain who wants to get rid of the beasts, and that's it. However, the voice acting is really what makes these characters feel real, and I do mean real. Honor Kinefsi, I don't know if that's how you pronounce your name, so I'm very sorry. She is fantastic as Robin, and throughout the film, I didn't think that she was in an episode of Friday Night Dinner, and I was like, oh god, is she gonna be like that one character from, I think it's The Girlfriend, which is arguably the worst episode in the show. But no, I actually didn't think to myself, I can still hear the actress. It's like, no, I can actually. It's more like I can hear the character and not hear the actress. She's really good, and even when she gets dramatic, she does it really well. It doesn't feel forced, it feels genuine. Sean Bean is great as always. I think he does a fantastic job here. He does try to be emotional and slow and sweet. He does it really well. Eva Whittaker as the Wolfwalker girl is really good too. Simon McBurney as Lord Protector is also really good. The voice acting genuinely is great. The characters are all fun. They've got heart. You can get emotionally attached to some of them. The main characters are strong, well written, and lovable, and that's just what you need from Wolfwalkers. And speaking of the wolves are actually quite cool as well. I love their design. They're more like supporting characters. They don't do too much, but they do help out a lot. So yeah, the characters, instant thumbs up from me. On a side note, the score by, I'm going to forget his name in a minute, Bruno Colassis, who did the score for Song of the Sea. I don't know if he did Secret of Kells or anything. I think he did the score for like Coraline. I think his score in the film is really good, and it's like Song of the Sea, where it has like the Irish flutes. And I love flutes. I think flutes are quite beautiful, and it does have that Irish feel to it in terms of music and instruments. And the songs, there's a song in the film and a song in the trailer, like I mentioned before, called Running with Wolves. There's actually a different version in the film, and it sounds so much better, really. And genuinely speaking, the music is really, really good. Guys, I'm. What can I say about this film? And this might sound a bit odd, but this film is what I call this year's Isle of Dogs. You know, the Wes Anderson animated film? This film is this year's Isle of Dogs. It's a film that's original, it has heart, it's gorgeous, it has lots of themes that work, the characters are lovable and mature, genuine, it's funny, dark, emotional. The music is wonderful. It's well directed. The idea is creative and nice. It's just. I'm comfortable to say that this film's a masterpiece, and I get if people don't like it because it's too dark and too scary. If you don't like it, that's fine. But for me, Wolfwalkers is my favourite film of this year. And I know Soul is still coming out, and I highly doubt this is going to beat this film. And don't get me wrong, I'm looking forward to Soul, but this film just blew me away. And this is only out for a limited time, also, and I can see this film getting banned in a way because it's like very, very dark. It's PG, but it's good PG. It actually fits. I remember Kubo and the Two Strings got banned, like got removed for being too dark, and it's like, fuck off. There are animated films that can be dark, but they can have good lessons, good themes, and kids can watch them. It's not fucking Trolls or anything, and I hope this film does better than Trolls World Tour, because if it doesn't, I will be mad. Although it's coming to Apple TV, so that'll be easier. So, if you haven't seen it, please do try and see it before it gets removed from cinemas. It's only out for a limited time. I do know it has been played at film festivals. It was at TIFF last month as well. I've heard so many wonderful things about it, and yeah, as expected, I loved it. It's a masterpiece. The film easily gets 10 out of 10. There was not one moment in the film that I felt out of place, stupid, or ridiculously pointless. It all feels connected, and I had a really fucking good time, and despite the fact that I had to go to the toilet, I loved it, and I will watch it again on Apple TV. And if you're wondering, no, I'm not going to review anything else on there. I'm just getting it for Wolfwalkers. If it comes out on Blu-ray, I'm definitely going to buy it then. So yeah, Wolfwalkers. It's my favourite film of the year and my favourite animated film of the year, and no other film can beat that. No. I feel happy now. I really do. Despite how shit this year has been, at least I saw a film that I didn't know this was coming out until last week, and I'm very happy I saw it. I'm very, very happy indeed. And even better, since the screening I was in was actually really quiet. There was only like 4 of us in there, which is good. So yeah, what am I going to do next? I'm going to watch the SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run. And I'm going to do my thoughts on the first 2 films, and I'm going to do my thoughts on, hopefully, before I watch it, of Barnyard and Monster Trucks. So some Nickelodeon movie stuff. So look out for that. Don't know when I don't know when my thoughts on will come out for each of them, because I've got actually I might upload Barnyard and Monster Trucks like separately. So Barnyard Monday, Monster Trucks Tuesday, and SpongeBob movie. No, SpongeBob 1 and 2 Wednesday, and then Sponge on the Run Friday. So look out for that. And if you have seen Wolfwalkers, let me know below. I'm really interested in what other people are saying about it. Is it good, bad, decent? Do you love it as much as I do? I'm sorry. I just fucking love this movie. Let me know below. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. And until next time, oh god, I hurt my throat a little bit. Hey, it was worth it.